is luck, and that we can capture luck and use it to where we are not someone where luck just finds us, but we're someone that lives within luck. So here's the idea and the logic behind lucky person syndrome. Think about other types of syndromes. I won't go through a list of them, but just think of a syndrome. The integrity of a syndrome is something that you cannot shake off. It's something you cannot get rid of. It is something that is with you for the rest of your life. Now, normally this is associated with a negative connotation, that a syndrome is negative because it is something that you cannot get rid of and it is tied to a negative. But what if I told you that there's another way that you could look at this? What if I told you that there is a way that we can look at luck and syndrome as if it's a positive thing that you cannot get rid of? Okay? So think about that. If luck is a syndrome, if there's an aspect of luck that is syndrome, and you are diagnosed with this lucky person syndrome, also known as lucky girl syndrome, also known as lucky guy syndrome. If you have been diagnosed with the syndrome of luck, then logically, you would not be able to get rid of that. And so it introduces the idea that you could place syndrome to something positive to you to where you cannot get rid of it. Think about St. Patty's Day associated with lots of luck, four-leaf clovers, horseshoes, various things like that. Those are things that we have a belief tied to that it will flow luck to you. But what if you were the person that was lucky? What if you were the person, that could manifest whatever you want really without any effort, just like lucky people around you? But the truth is about luck is that people that are lucky, whether they know it or not, subconsciously through their unconscious mind, because they're unaware of it, that they exhibit different behaviors. People that are lucky just have different behaviors. One of those things is that people that are lucky tend to take more risk because they just think that they're lucky. Think about it. If you think that nothing bad can happen to you, if you believe that you are blessed or that you have this condition, lucky person syndrome, where no matter what, ultimately things work out for you, then just think about the risks that you would take. All right. So people that are lucky tend to take more of a risk. So if you want to replicate this lucky person syndrome, then the first thing that I would say is implement more risk. And these are things that you could gain more momentum on. Doesn't have to be something big. As a matter of fact, unless you see signs that the universe guides you there, I would not recommend that you try something big. Magic is all about momentum. And so you would try a small area and build your way up from that in terms of luck. For example, you may say, I'm going to go out, just go for a walk, maybe go downtown, whatever the case is. But then you want to challenge yourself to manifest some money would be a good example. One thing that I did to see how much money could I find, how many pennies, how many nickels, how many dimes. And those may seem small, but then you would build momentum with your luck and your luck mindset. So you would take more risk and go somewhere that you've never been. All right. So you want to do that. And while you're out and about, look around and see where's some things that you can go that are different to maybe manifest 25 cents, $1 to build momentum, to exercise and test flex your lucky person syndrome, because it is kind of like a muscle. You have to build momentum. All right, so the second thing I want you to think about when it comes to lucky person syndrome is to realize that bad things happen to you because ultimately it is working out for your favor. And the way that life operates, we don't really like all the time how life operates. I know I certainly don't. So you may not like how life is taking you to the end of the road to get a manifestation that you want. You may not like that, but the truth is there is an acceptance aspect of this with this lucky person syndrome to take it a step further, in that If you surrender to the higher power, your higher inner power, then there's an aspect of this higher inner power that is including the highest expression of yourself. All right, so it is okay to accept these things, because this is basically you in Buddha form. This is basically you, your higher person that has lived all these lives, have lived these things. It could just be your subconscious mind. Again, the how isn't really our business, but there's an aspect of this choice selection, this master selection of your path forward, and having peace with things happening, especially considering this lucky person syndrome, is that there's an aspect of you that is co-creating with your higher inner power to make sure that things that you want come. So think about a 3-year-old you versus a 23-year-old you, and you have the same task and you have to work together. Then it would be kind of acceptable, reasonable to accept that the 23-year-old version of you has more knowledge and could guide the 3-year-old a lot better than the 3-year-old could guide the 23-year-old. Not to say that we can't cross learn, because we certainly do, and it is a powerful tip that we use. However, typically the 23-year-old would have more value to add to that. So that's how I look at it when things happen. The higher expression of me with source energy are co-creating and finding the ways that work out for me in the long term. So in the story that I wrote, there is a guy named Frank who ultimately thought he wasn't lucky. Then he found luck, and then so things were going well, but then things were going bad. He was kind of thinking, asking his friend that was educating him on the lucky person syndrome, Sam, and he asked him, "What's going on?" "I thought I was lucky." And the reminder of, just because you're lucky doesn't mean that things are going to be always perfect. Perfect isn't always a way. Sometimes the negativity is used to catapult us. So in this story, he tried out for something. It didn't work, but he was offered an audiovisual role in the back. Since he knew that this was a part of being lucky, he accepted this as an aspect of being lucky, and he enjoyed where he was, and eventually he got his own podcast, and then so he was able to run his own audio and visual because of that shift that happened, that was in his favor, that happened back in high school, that when he was older, he was able to produce his own thing and not really have to wait and depend on too many other people. So there is an aspect of this lucky person syndrome that you could have an idea that things work out for me, even if they are not seemingly positive in the moment. I like to read this book called The Mindful Year. I've read it a couple years ago, and sometimes I like to take a peek at it because there are some powerful messages, and books that go over the year are really nice because it's really good to exercise your synchronicities. And again, synchronicities are just signs that your manifestations are happening. Kind of like when you go to a restaurant and things are smelling good, you're like, okay, that's a sign that your food is going to smell good. And I know you want your food to smell good because that's a sign that it will taste good. You want food that tastes good. So I'm reading the word for the day, and it starts with the quote, and it was a good sign because it kind of just fit the thing for today. So it is a quote from Anne Frank is how this starts. "Think of all of the beauty still left around you and be happy," by Anne Frank. We need inspiration in these troubling times. Despair was never an option. Find ways to brighten the world for yourself and for others. And that goes to my last point, that being lucky is similar to being happy, and that it is a choice. Being happy and being lucky absolutely is a choice. There's so many options to be negative. There's so many things that can bring you down. Life is terrible. But let me tell you, the trick is that life really isn't lifing. You don't have to accept the things that life brings to you, because you do have a choice and you do have an option. And the reminder that you co-create with life to make a beautiful, abundant one means that as long as you know what you want, you accept the belief that you have a lucky person syndrome and that these are things that you cannot get rid of even when you're soaking wet. All right, this is a condition that you have and it's to your benefit. And so you start by looking at things that are mostly positive, and then so it'll catapult from there. All right. So I am going to put a link here where you can watch Lucky Person Syndrome and leave a comment. Leave a comment about the last time that you felt unlucky and something that you did to bring your own type of luck to you. All right. So good luck. Some pun intended. Good luck on your Lucky Person Syndrome, and join me on living a life of abundance, luck, and health. All right. So stay focused, and then you'll have very happy manifesting, and you will see that shift happens for you. All right. And I'll see you in that video right here.